Shalom, 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 brothers and sisters of the nation of Israel. It's your brother Ananias.
Brother Ezekiel.
Brother Yakub.
And Brother Baruch.
And we are A.O.I, the Awakening of Israel. And happy Sabbath to you all. It's an honor, it's a privilege to be able to come before you and give you another edifying lesson. And before we get started, we got to give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh being the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai being his son, who the world calls Christ. But through his strength, sacrifice, and example, we are able to be here today to be able to give another edifying lesson, to come together and congregate as a family on the Sabbath. So we appreciate everybody tuning in. And this class that we're doing tonight is called Demons Are Real. Do you have one on you? Do you have a demon on you? You know what I'm saying? That's what we're going to get into tonight. So make sure you're taking notes. Make sure you got your Bible with you. Your highlighters, whatever it is that you need. And this topic is fitting for this month because you already know what's at the end of the month, the pagan holiday, Halloween. But people that celebrate that, even ourselves when we were in the world, don't truly understand what's going on. But we're not going to really dive into no Halloween topics or origins or anything like that. But we do have a video in the past that we did breaking it down. But tonight's topic, like I said, is going to be dealing with demons are real. Do you have one on you? So before we get started, we want to give a definition as to what actually a demon is. What is a demon? Because a lot of us hear that term and we just say it's something demonic or whatever, but it's simple. The actual definition of a demon, can somebody read it?
It says, definition of demon, an evil spirit. It says angels or demons, a source or agent of evil, harm or distress, or ruin.
All right. So basically, to sum it up, a demon is just an evil spirit. And the funny thing about it is, when I started doing this class and putting it together, I realized that the word demon is not even in the Bible. The word demon is not even in the Bible. Just like the word halo is not in the Bible. The word rapture is not in the Bible. The little hats that the so-called Jewish man be wearing, the yarmulke, that's not in the Bible. But all these things we associate with the Bible. But demons are real, or evil spirits are real. And that's what you will find constantly throughout the Bible. It's talking about evil spirits or devils. That's what you will find in the scriptures. So next we want to look up a virus. What is a virus? Check that out right quick. Read definition 2.
I got it. Virus. Something that poisons the mind or soul.
Something that poisons the mind or the soul. So when you think about evil spirits or demons, those things are not positive. They're not spirits or anything that's going to uplift you or build you up. They're designed to do the same thing that a virus is designed to do. Something that poisons the mind or the soul. Just think about that. A virus attacks a host or a body or a mind, and it poisons it. Its whole objective or its purpose is to destroy it. Same thing with a demon or a evil spirit. And tonight we're going to get a good understanding as to what we're talking about. So from there, let's go to the book of Luke, chapter 11, verse 21. Let's go to the book, Luke, chapter 11, verse 21, excuse me.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 11 and verse 21. And when a strong man armed kept his palace, his goods are at peace. But when a stronger than he shall come upon him and overcome him, he taken from him all his armor wherein he trusted, and divided his spoils. He that is not with me is against me, and he that gathered not with me scattered. When the unclean spirit come out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest, and finding none. He said, I will return unto my house whence I came out. And when he cometh, he findeth it swept and garnished. Then goeth he and taketh to him 7 other spirits more wicked than himself, and they enter in and dwell therein. And the last state of that man is worse than the first.
So it says, when a strong man armed keepeth his palace, his goods are in peace. So you got to be a strong individual to be able to fight against these different demons that are out here in this world. You know what I'm saying? Somebody give me Sirach chapter 34, verse 13. It says, let me see. But when a stronger than he shall come upon him and overcome him, he taketh from him all his armor, wherein he trusted, and divideth his spoils. So, you know, you got different type of people or demons or evil spirits. You got some at one level, a base level, and then you got some that's mighty, strong level, or hard-headed type demons. If that's the word I'm looking for. Powerful, more powerful. Lustful demons, you know what I'm saying? You got, just like in the intro video, you got lying spirits. You got paranoid or fearful spirits. You got lustful spirits, angry, confused type spirits. You know, a lot of people find it hard to deal with these things. Sorrowful, depressed spirits. It said, but verse 23, he that is not with me is against me. So this is red letter, so this is Hawashai speaking. He that is not with me is against me, and he that gathereth not with me scattereth. So if you ain't following the ways of the Most High, if you ain't keeping the ways, you're going to be scattering the people. The same way the demon going to be scattering you as an individual. You find it harder and harder for you to stay focused and do the work. You got demons on you. You know what I'm saying? Pulling you away from the Father. He's scattering you is just as well as he scatter us as a nation of people. You know, it said, when the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest and finding none. Then he saith, I will return unto my house which I came out. This is the time period when you actually get rid of a demon or an evil spirit. You know what I'm saying? Because they just like Satan, they come in for seasons and they be gone for a season. You thought you fought hard to get rid of it, but it's going to come back. And depending on how built up in the spirit you are, it depends on if you'll be able to fight that demon off. So it says, that spirit, it said, I will return into my house whence I came out. And when he cometh, he find it swept and garnished. So he going to come back trying to get back in that house, but the spirit or that body or that host, they've been cleaned out, swept up, been reading in the word. So he realized he can't just come back in the same way he came out. Now you got to go get more power to come try to take you over. You know what I'm saying? Come with first it might have been a lustful spirit. You got rid of that. You overcame that. You figured out, hey, when that spirit come in my mind, I got to put my mind on the scriptures. He try to come back and you keep withholding from him, keep withstanding that spirit. Don't come back with a spirit through your family to have them mad at you where you confused. Am I doing the right thing? Now you second guessing yourself. Then you might have a financial woe that had you second guessing about keeping the commandments. These things tend to scatter you. It said, and when he cometh, he findeth it swept and garnished. Then goeth he and taketh to him seven other spirits more wicked than himself. And they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first. So when you let these spirits in, they're going to destroy you worse than the one that you were trying to get rid of. If you're not built up, if you're not strong in these words, in these precepts. So from there, let's go to Sirach chapter 34, verse 13.
The book of Sirach.
Go ahead.
The book of Sirach, chapter 34 and verse 13. The spirit of those that fear the Lord shall live, for their hope is in him that saveth them.
Read down to 17.
All right. Verse 14. Whosoever feareth the Lord shall not fear nor be afraid, for he is his hope. Verse 15. Blessed is the soul of him that feareth the Lord, to whom doth he look, and who is his strength. Verse 16. For the eye of the Lord are upon them that love him. He is their mighty protection and strong stay, a defense from heat, and a cover from the sun at noon, a preservation from stumbling and help from falling. Verse 17. He raises up the soul and lightens the eye. He giveth health, life, and blessing.
All right, somebody give me Acts chapter 19, verse 11. So it said, the spirit of those that fear the Lord shall live, for their hope is in him that saveth them. So we got to keep our faith based on the Most High, trusting him at all times. Said, whosoever that fear the Lord shall not be afraid, shall not fear nor be afraid, for he is his hope. Blessed is the soul of him that feareth the Lord, to whom doeth he look, and who is his strength. So what I was getting at earlier when it said the strong man keep his palace in peace, you got to be looking toward the Lord. You got to be focused on the Lord day in and day out, focusing on him. That's where your strength comes from. It don't come from reading 100 different books. It don't come from us going to the gym. Us going to the gym ain't gonna have us keeping the commandments. Us doing anything other than trusting in the Lord is not gonna have us facing these demons, being strong-minded. It says, for the eyes of the Lord are upon them that love him. So the Lord looking out for those who love him, who fear him. You know what I'm saying? Gonna help them out, fight the battle for him. He is their mighty protection and strong stay. That's how you stay unmovable, steadfast in his truth, trusting in the Lord, because the Lord watching out for you when you fear and trust in him. And when you read his precepts, you meditate on his precepts, you learn and you become strong. From there, let's go to the book of Acts, chapter 19, verse 11. And we're going to read that to
Acts. The book of Acts, chapter 19, verse 11. And God wrought special miracles by the hands of Paul.
Keep going. We're going to read that to 17.
Gotcha. Salakia. So that from his body were brought unto the sick handkerchiefs or aprons, and the disease departed from them, and the evil spirits went out of them.
You see that?
Then,
so this right here is letting you know off the top that diseases are evil spirits. Read that one more time, King. Read it slow for him. Verse 12.
Verse 12. So that from his body were brought unto the sick handkerchiefs or aprons, and the diseases departed from them, and the evil spirits went out of them.
You see that? Diseases are evil spirits. Evil spirits are used to punish. Evil spirits are for vengeance. We got to understand these things. That's what we should be learning in the church. That's what they should be teaching if they teach anything about truth. Evil spirits are diseases, or diseases are evil spirits. So when we find ourselves having to fight these demons or these diseases, realize we got some demons on us. And it's a reason why those demons are on us. Understand that. We're going to get to that in a minute. But keep reading.
Verse 13. Then certain of the vagabond Jews, exorcists, took upon them to call over them which had evil spirits the name of the Lord Jesus, or Yahushua, saying, we adjure you by Yahushua, whom Paul preached. And there were 7 sons of one, Sceva, a Jew, and chief of the priests, which did so. And the evil spirit answered and said, Yahushua I know, and Paul I know, but who are ye?
So these some evil spirits inside 7 brothers. And they basically talking to this guy. It said, The evil spirit answered them and said, they know Yahweh and they know Paul, but who are you? Because these brothers were trying to be something similar to Paul, trying to cast out devil, evil spirits. Let's see what happened. Keep reading.
Verse 16. And the man in whom the evil spirit was leaped on them and overcame them and prevailed against them, so that they fled out of that house naked and wounded.
So this right here lets you know that spirits do leap, because it said, and the man in whom the evil spirit was leaped on and overcame them. So spirits do hop. They do transfer. Everybody know that. Everybody done heard that before. That's in the scriptures. So spirits do hop from host to host or body to body, just like a virus will. We just seen that in 2020, you know. But go ahead.
It said, and this was known.
That's all I want. It said, and when the man whom the evil spirit leaped on and overcame them and prevailed against them, so that they fled out of the house naked and wounded. So these brothers trying to cast out spirits, trying to cast exorcism or whatnot. That's what we see in the movie. But you ain't gonna find that exorcism in the Bible. It say exorcism, but it didn't say no exorcism. But they trying to do that, and the spirit was like, "Who are you?" Just like you see in these movies, some of them preachers be trying to throw holy water on the damn demon. Hey, that demon buck up and tear the whole room up. You know what I'm saying? Throw everybody around. And that's exactly what just happened right here. Mm. It whooped them up real good and sent them running out of there naked and wounded, meaning beat the hell up. They beat them out their clothes, so to speak. You know? But that just goes to show you the level of power that these evil spirits possess. You know, it's not just something you see in the movie. These things are real. You know, from there, let's go to Luke chapter 13, verse 16. Going back to what we just read earlier about different diseases being evil spirits. We're going to prove that to you as well. Let's go to the book of Luke, chapter 13, verse 16.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 13, and verse 16. And ought not this woman, being a daughter of Abraham, whom Satan had bound, lo, these 8 years be loose from this bond of the Sabbath on the Sabbath day.
You see that? It said, and ought not this woman, being a daughter of Abraham, meaning being an Israelite, whom Satan had bound, lo, these 18 years. So this woman was bound. She was diseased. This is the woman that had 18 years of the blood disease. 18 years. He said, should she be loosed from this bond on the Sabbath day? Satan had her bound. So that was an evil spirit on her. A demon. These are the things that we don't consider. All we think about when we hear that word is something creepy crawling out the shadows, something under the damn bed, something that come visit you in your dreams, Freddy Krueger, Jason, things of that nature. But it's actually a lot deeper than that. But from there, let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 9, verse 11. So we realize by reading a few scriptures that one way of knowing what a demon is these different diseases. Make sure y'all take notes on that. Gave you 2 different precepts to prove that. Acts chapter 19, verse 11, and Luke chapter 13, verse 6. But we can ready to go to Matthew chapter 9, verse 11. And we're going to read that at 13.
I got you.
The book of Matthew.
Go ahead.
The book of Matthew chapter 9, verse 11. And when the Pharisees saw it, they said unto his disciples, why eateth your master with publicans and sinners? But when Yahushua heard that, he said unto them, they that be whole need not a physician, but they that are sick.
You see there, a physician is another word for a doctor. Read that one more time.
It says, but when Yahushua heard that, he said unto them, they that be whole need not a physician, but they that are sick.
So those who are keeping the commandments, they don't need no doctor. You ain't going to read no account where Abraham had to go to the doctor. You're not going to read no account where Isaac, Jacob had to go to the doctor. You know what I'm saying? Because they were whole. They were living perfect, keeping the commandments, doing what they were created to do. Keep going. Verse 13.
Verse 13. But go ye and learn what they meaneth. I would have mercy and not sacrifice. For I am not come to call the righteous, but sinners to repentance.
You see that? Let's get the book of Sirach, chapter 38, verse 9. The book of Sirach, chapter 38, verse 9. So he said, but go ye and learn what that meaneth. Talking to the Pharisee. I will have mercy and not sacrifice, for I am not come to call the righteous, but sinners to repentance. Because the second time he coming, that's when he come for the righteous. That's when he gonna come gather his elect. At that particular time, he was coming to die for the remissions of our sin, to the sick, to the blind, to the poor, to the lowly, coming to heal us. And that's what he was walking around doing with his miracles, healing our brothers and sisters of those evil spirits that were possessing them, where they were blind, couldn't walk, hands crippled. You know, he was healing our brothers and sisters. But let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 38, verse 9. We're going to read that to 15.
Book of Sirach, chapter 38, and verse 9. My son, and thy sickness be not ignorant, but praise the Lord, and he will make thee whole. Verse 10. Leave off from sin, and order thine hand aright, and cleanse thy heart from all wickedness.
You see that? Now, why would the Most High say, in thy sickness be not negligent, but pray? Then he go in verse 10 and say, leave off from sin. Because he already know you getting sick because you're in some type of sin. So he's saying, pray to him and then leave off from that sin and order your hands aright and cleanse thy heart from all wickedness. Meaning, get your mind right. That's the one thing we got to understand. You know, keep going.
Verse 10.
Verse 11.
Verse 11. Give a sweet savor and a memorial of fine flour, and make a fat offering as not been. Verse 12. Then give place to the physician, for the Lord hath created him. Let him not go from thee, for thou hast need of him.
You see that? Once again, talking about going to the physician, just like Yahushua was speaking. The sick need the physician. That's what he came to be. Give them the medicine, give them that healing that they need. It's saying right here in verse 12, then give place to the physician, for the Lord hath created him. Let him not go from thee, for thou hast need of him. We all sick. That's why we got to be in these scriptures day in and day out to fix our problems, our sicknesses, our illnesses, that ultimately get them damn demons off of them. We got to go to the physician. You know, keep going.
Verse 13. There is a time when in their hands there is good success, for they shall also pray unto the Lord, that he would prosper that which they give for ease and remedy to prolong life.
You see that? That's another thing that we should be considering as well. Instead of running to the enemy, we should be trying to find our own brothers and sisters who know about this truth, because they're going to be praying to the Most High for them to give the right advice, the right remedy. And if we got to have surgery, they'll be the ones to give a righteous surgery to have good success. Because we all know going and dealing with Esau, hey, we ain't the same when you come from under that knife. You're going to have all type of other problems dealing with that same injury or that surgery after the fact, thinking that you was going to make it better or believing and trusting in them. But they ain't going to pray to the Most High. The Most High ain't dealing with them. We already know, being in this truth, according to John 9:31, that the Lord don't hear the prayers of sinners. So if these doctors out there doing all manner of wickedness and come in the operating room, it don't matter if they got their damn C-19 mask on or not. You know, they ain't praying to the Most High. That's why you see all these different recalls in the hospital on these different medications. We shouldn't be trusting in them. But keep reading. Verse 15.
Verse 15. He that sinned before his maker, let him fall into the hand of the physician.
So he that sinneth, he gonna fall into the hand of the physician. Understand that. We gotta run to the doctor for any type of reason. Hey, we got to be mindful. Hey, something I'm doing ain't right. Something that I'm doing is not right. That goes for every one of us. We got to keep that in our mindset. What Esau put on the TV, what they have told us, hey, they ain't teaching us nothing but lies. We got to be mindful of what's in the scriptures. It's a reason why we even having to run to them anyway. Why are they ruling over us? We have to be mindful of these things at all times. So right now,
let me get a precept real quick, King.
All right.
Just to land back on what you're talking about. Going back into how the Lord, even with the curses, the Lord said he was going to smite us through the curses, the soles of our feet. But this is Micah chapter 6 and verse 13. It says, therefore also will I make thee sick and smiting thee and making thee desolate because of thy sins. And the Lord said, because we the number one in every statistics, whether, high blood pressure, any kind of, transmitted disease, you name it, the Lord did it because we was in sin and he gave us the commandments. So, that's the reason why, just to land back on that.
That's a good point, King. But somebody give me 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 5. And what I want to show you is some old school video. They're only about a minute a piece. I mean, about a minute long, each one of them. Got about 3 of them. But I want to show you how these demons attach themselves and we get, what's the word I'm looking for? Attached to them, where we become comfortable with them, where we want to introduce ourselves to them, But let me show you this right quick. It's an old show that used to come on back in the day on MTV. So that was showing that he had some type of encounter with something he wasn't used to having an encounter with or used to being around. So let me see. Yeah, this is it. This is kind of how those different spirits or those demons enter into your body. You know something is off, but you're not sure if it's good or it's bad. I'll show you another one. So here he is being the way they showing is like he got an alien in his head, but that's actually a demon, an evil spirit. He don't know how he got in there. He knew it was something off, and it changed the way that he seen himself. It changed something about him. But here it is, a spirit and jumped out and basically introduced itself to him. I'm so-and-so. Nice to meet you. And him just being in shock, not scared, not paranoid, but in shock, he's embracing that. So he's becoming familiar with this demon. All right. So let me show you the other one. You get comfortable with these different demons or evil spirits that be on us, and we don't even realize that they're a threat or that they're causing any type of problems. We get comfortable with these things, and they start to change our life. Everything that we stand for, thought that we were doing, and start taking us the opposite direction. And then when we questioned about it or anything of that nature, we start to defend it. So looking at that, that demon popped out of when he was cornered, when his back was against the wall. And he started defending what was going on with him, what was inside of him. He was being questioned about what is he doing. Just like a lot of us, especially in Israel, we get questioned about the things that we're doing. Hey, we start getting defensive. We jump to defense mode. We've all participated in this thing before. But whatever's plaguing us, or we know that it be wrong or whatnot, it start plaguing us, we get defensive. And we start defending the demon or the evil spirit, the wickedness that we're doing. Just like it was right here in this episode. And that demon will pop out and start defending you. You know, you alcoholic, them alcoholic spirits start running out. You get thick with courage. You know, now you want to fight everybody in the club, or you want to fight everybody who asking you questions. These is how these demons do with us in life. We just got to be mindful of what's going on. So, we get comfortable. They latch on. They introduce themselves to us through whatever manner of wickedness it is, and we start defending it, becoming comfortable with it. You know. And let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 5. We get comfortable with these demons, even though they are nothing good for us, and we all know it. We get comfortable with it. And then when we don't progress, we wonder why. Because these demons, these evil spirits, are not to build us up or to bring us closer to the Most High or to make us do better in life. They are to pull us away and mask whatever it is that's going on so that we don't even truly see it or understand what's going on. They hide what's going on, and we try to act like it don't exist. And they consistently pull us further and further away from where we're supposed to be. So let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 5.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 5. Examine yourselves, whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves, how that Jesus Christ is in you, except ye be reprobates.
So we must examine ourselves daily and continue lifting these spiritual weights or these precepts to be able to deal with these different evil spirits or demons that come our way trying to deal with us. You know what I'm saying? We got to continue to be working out. Why? Because Yahushua is in us, but we got to examine ourselves to understand what we're dealing with. Sometimes we don't even understand or think that we being, what's the word I'm looking for? Left on, leached off of. We don't understand or think that we got anything on us. We think we good for the most part. But all of us are dealing with some type of evil spirit or demon trying to get inside and trying to pull us further away from the Most High. If it wasn't, then what would we be enduring for? It's something we got to constantly be fighting against until the end. And that would be those evil spirits in the ways of this world. So from there, let's go to Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. Book of Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. Got to keep lifting them weights. Got to keep pushing these precepts, meditating on them, curling them, benching them, squatting with them, day in and day out. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12.
The book of Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
So we got to realize that we're in a spiritual battle on a daily basis. Not just when we go through hard times when, you know, things ain't going our way. Every day we on a spiritual battle. Every time you leave the house, every time you turn on the TV, every time you open your phone, unlock your phone, you go to work, you at the store, you at a spiritual battle. When you turn on that radio, listening to that music, walking at the park, you at a spiritual battle. And being here in Babylon the Great, they promote all type of different evil spirits. Fear is the number one spirit that they pump here, whether you know it or not. Mm-hmm. They do it in your movies, your TV shows, your news. Hey, they even are entertained by fear. You know what I'm saying? They jumping in cages and being up under the boat trying to go down in the ocean to see a damn shark. They on roller coasters that's 50 stories high just to get entertainment. They promote fear. They breed fear here in Babylon the Great. And it's no wonder why our people are so fearful today. We're not fearless. We're fearful, full of fear, paranoid. You know, you see the damn cop with the blue and red and the white lights flashing. We paranoid. He might be chasing something or going to a house 5-10 miles away, but he throw them lights on. We paranoid. We know he after us. You know. You see the damn dude at the job, the boss man. You're paranoid. You're fearful. You walking on eggshell. You supposed to be the mighty, the lions on this earth, walking around on eggshells at work. Fearful. Scared. I heard women on the news channel when they were talking about stop the violence, saying she's scared to even go outside. Scared she might not make it back in the house. Fearful. They promote and they breed fear. That's a spirit. When you go to 2 Timothy, what is it, 1:7? He said, I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and of sound mind. But Babylon promotes and breeds fear. That's a spirit. That's an evil spirit. And it's not built or geared toward pulling you or pushing you toward the Most High, but pulling you farther away. I don't know if I walk in the commandments, people are going to laugh at me. I don't know if I ain't celebrating birthdays and Christmas, they going to look down on me. If I ain't doing what they tell me to do, when they tell me to do it, they going to look at me and be mad. The hell with that. That's Babylon the Great speaking. That's a spirit that the Most High did not give you. That's a damn demon, brother and sister. Understand that. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 45, verse 6.
Come on, let me get a precept real quick, King.
Yes, sir.
This is going back to what you just pulled in 2 Corinthians. This is Lamentations chapter 3 and verse 40. It says, let us search and try our ways and turn again to the Lord. All right, going back to what you said, examine yourself. Like, everybody don't deal with the same spirit. Everybody don't have the same demons that you want to explain, you know. But let us all self-examine ourselves. Let us all, meditate on the scriptures and understand where we go off at, and always humble down to what the word say, So,
right. Like the brother saying, everybody ain't gonna have the same problems, same issues. But we know how to deal with all of them by what we read in the scriptures. So it's an answer to every problem. It's a solution there. But we got to be strong enough to be lifting these weights so we understand how to deal with these problems. So our palace, our houses, our bodies are in peace. When we ain't lifting these weights, we ain't studying, we ain't meditating, that leave room for these demons to creep in. And if we got rid of one, guess what? They coming back with 7 more. And they leave for a season and then they come back. Understand that. So you got to constantly be building yourself up to block out all spirits, all demons, so that you can be strong and teach others how to be strong. It's not a one-day thing. They going to come back. Just say you were a person that used to smoke. You've been free of smoking for about a year. And you come around some individuals and you start smelling it. It start itching in your nose. You got to be able to fight that. And once you're able to fight that, you know that you're strong in that area. But then, it might come when they bring the drinking buddy with you or the drinking spirit with you. Now you get the drinking, you smell that itch again, you might fire it up. But you got to be able to stay strong and fight off both of them. Understand it. But let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 6.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 45 and verse 6. That they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west that there is none beside me. I am the Lord, and there is none else.
He read.
Verse 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things.
So being in this truth, once again, you know who is in control of all things. Esau ain't in control of nothing. The Most High running everything. Esau being in power right now was done by the Most High. Us being on the bottom of society was done by the Most High. So we know that the good spirits and the evil spirit were created by the Most High. Good spirits are those that are put on the brothers and sisters to keep them walking in a righteous path. When they disobey, that's when that wickedness come out. You get those evil spirits put on you for not following the commandments. Understand that. So now let's go to go ahead, King.
I had a precept I'm gonna bring out,
All right.
Because yeah, man, these demons, man, they attack us because we be in the wrong spirit, our people be you so hypnotized in Babylon by this, by the doctrines and the ways of Babylon, you get those demons put on you. But this is the book of Romans, chapter 8 and verse 11. It says, but if the spirit of him that raised up Jesus, let's start with verse 10, Romans chapter 8, verse 10. And if Christ be in you, the body is dead because of sin, but the spirit is life because of righteousness. It says, but if the spirit of him that raised up Jesus from the dead dwell in you, he that raised up Christ from the dead shall also quicken your mortal bodies by his spirit that dwelleth in you. So if we, to continue to stay on the path the Lord wants to be on, and actually follow the ways of Christ, then we can get those demons out for us. Because when you live by the flesh, those demons hop on you. You got to deal in the spirit. And in the spirit of this world, it'll lead these demons to grab on your flesh. So we got to live by the spirit Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
It says there, verse 12 said, therefore, brethren, we are debtors not to the flesh to live after the flesh. For if ye live after the flesh, ye shall die. But if ye through the spirit do mortify the deeds of the body, ye shall live. So these spirits and these diseases, man, they cause us to die. But if we living after the flesh, we will. But that's why it's so important for us to live out the spirit, because the spirit can heal the body. So we have to continue to live out the spirit and through the words of Yahweh Shai.
That's right. That's a good point the brother bringing out.
Come on, let me get one as well.
Say what now?
I'm gonna get a precept after that, King.
All right, go ahead.
No, you can go ahead and finish your statement.
All right. Let's go to the book of Revelation, chapter 4, verse 11. Brother brought out a good point. When you live in righteously, the spirit will heal the body. The spirit will heal the body because you're doing what is righteous. You ain't going to have them evil spirits on you. Understand that. Go ahead.
I guess this is the precept that I was going back to what you had pulled in Isaiah, how the Lord said he formed the light and create darkness. It's a balance. He said, a false balance is abomination to him. So this is going back to what you had brought out. This is Sirach 11 and verse 14. It says, prosperity, adversity, life and death, poverty and riches come of the Lord. So like you said, no matter what state that you in life, whether you're going through whatever, you may be battling, the Lord said it come from him. And he always told you that he's not going to put more on you that you can bear. And, he's not going to tempt you above measure. So whatever state that you're in life, you want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Shai because, he put you there. So
that's right.
Especially if you're going through trials and tribulation, because that's how he able to chastise you. He try your heart. He try you through those times. So.
Yes, sir. Hey, it was just like when you was on different sports teams growing up. You didn't go to practice knowing what was going to go down, but they put you in different positions for you to have to fight your way out of or to learn how to deal with. Same way with Yahweh Shai putting us in these different positions, or the Most High putting us in these different positions or fighting these different battles, trials and tribulations. It's not to destroy us, but to make us stronger. But we got to learn how to do and how to move in and out of these different things, out of these different drills in order to endure to win the game at the end. But let's go to the book of Revelation, chapter 4, verse 11.
The book of Revelations, chapter 4 and verse 11. Thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power, for thou hast created all things, and for thy pleasure they are and were created.
Were created. Let me get Sirach chapter 39 and 28. So it says all things were created for the Most High's pleasure. Good spirit, evil spirit, sickness, disease, riches, poor, beast. All things were created for the Most High's pleasure. Not for our pleasure, but for the Most High's pleasure. Understand that. Let's go to Sirach chapter 39, verse 28.
It's a book of. Go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead, brother. You got it.
And we're going to read that to 31.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 39 and verse 28.
Yes, sir.
There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made him.
These are those evil spirits that we're talking about right now. Those evil spirits. Go ahead.
Fire and hell and famine and death. All these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts, scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is. And when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word.
So somebody give me Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 19. It says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance. Understand that right there. You know, the Most High created all things, and spirits, angels control everything. Do his bidding, I put it that way. You know, they control the clouds that fly by, the sun when it rises up, the snow when it falls, the rain when it falls. But he said they are spirits that be created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. Tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes, thunderstorms, lightning strikes. Those are spirits. It said in the time of destruction, not the time of building, not the time of loving. It said in the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease, meaning like we just read in Revelation 4 and 11, they are created for his pleasure. And it said, and they appease, meaning they please him, the wrath of him that made them. So when he say go out there and tear up the East Coast with Hurricane Ian, they're going to do that with pleasure. It said fire and hell and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. They ain't created for fun and hugs. They ain't created to sit down and watch TV, which go out back, pop some popcorn, which created for vengeance. It said teeth of wild beasts. Those are your bears, your lions, your tigers, your vipers, your serpents. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. These are the things that come upon brothers and sisters who are living a wicked life. It's destruction coming. We have to be mindful of these things and take it seriously. When we break his commandments, destruction is coming. Not peace. Not what we thinking is coming. Destruction is coming. So we got to strive harder and harder every day to walk in the way, in righteousness.
Hey, I got a precept.
All right.
Just like you said, you know, they for his pleasure, right? Sometimes when he put these demons and make the destruction come, like you said, it's for his pleasure. In Proverbs 1 and verse 26, you know, it said, I also will laugh at your calamity and will mock you when your fear cometh. So, you know, when he put them demons out there for his pleasure, he laughing because he's laughing and mocking you because you're doing something that you're not supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm. And so when he see your fear, it pleases him, like the brother was saying.
That's right. So he sit back, he like, I know I told them, I know they know. Hey, spirit, get on out there and do what I told you to do. He said, they shall, in verse 31, it say, they shall rejoice in his commandment. That's how we should be as a people. That's why we got sent into captivity, because we did not serve the Lord with joyness of heart. But these spirits, they shall rejoice to his commandment. and they shall be ready upon earth when need is, and when their time is come. They shall not. I'm gonna repeat that. They shall not transgress his word. They ain't gonna sin. These spirits are gonna do what they commanded to do. And Esau gonna try to confuse you and make you think it's something. The animals just acting wild. You know, you might have had something bad to eat. You know, that's what made them come in your house and just tear your house up, wreck shop while you was out camping somewhere. No, all things are done by the Most High. We got to understand these things. You see on the TV all the time. They be at the damn zoo or on a boat somewhere, and a damn seal come up and snatch them in the water. That ain't no accident.
Mm-hmm.
Out of all the seals that been coming up there, this particular time, this person gets snatched.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord did that, and He gonna put it on the news so everybody can see it and make an example. Well, let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verse 19.
Let me get a precept, King.
Choice that we have to live by, or on a daily basis. Moses gave us the choices of life.
You heard me, King?
Nah, I ain't hear you.
Let me get a precept in that same book you were just saying, Sirach. Because in its truth, I look at it, man, it's two things I think that's unique that the Lord made. And we know that's the internet, because that's how that word able to, get out. And we know that the nuclear bomb that is being created, we know we're looking for World War III. And so I'm gonna go to Sirach, that same book, Sirach 39 and 16. It says, all the works of the Lord is exceeding good, and whatsoever he commanded shall be accomplished in due season. So just like you said, everything he created is gonna be used. And like we said, we're approaching the day of the Lord. So we know that's gonna be done during World War III. So we know that everything, when it comes down to the COVID, the various diseases, down to the dang 45 caliber gun that these man is killing these people by, like, everything was created for a purpose, and the Lord said it's going to be accomplished in due season. So
that's right.
Come on.
Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verse 19. Everything will be accomplished. His word ain't gonna go out void. Like the brother bringing up, whatever he create, whatever he say, is going to be done. It's going to be used. Everything got a purpose.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 19.
30:19.
Okay, I'm sorry. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30 and verse 19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live.
So life is about choices. We already know that. They even made a movie back in the day. It was Wicked, but it was called Choices. You know what I'm saying? What you gonna do? That's what the Lord want to know. That's what Moses put in our laps. What you gonna do? Let's go to Romans chapter 7, verse 14. Classic precept. Romans chapter 7, verse 14.
The book of Romans, chapter 7, and verse 14. For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin.
So the law is spiritual. So basically it's saying you choose to do what you choose to do with it determines if you're going to move in a righteous spirit or a wicked spirit. The law is spiritual. You keep the law, you're going to live. You'll be righteous. You break the law, you're going to die. That's a wicked spirit that's coming towards you. A spirit of judgment, a spirit of vengeance. When you choose to say to hell with the law, but when you keep it, you're going to be walking or moving in a righteous spirit. That's what Moses was talking about. Make a decision. What are you going to do? You going to get this blessing or you going to get these curses? That decision is up to you on a daily basis to make. We got to understand these things. Who wants to be dealing with a damn demon? If we don't want to deal with these demons, we got to walk the righteous path. We got to do what we are commanded to do as a nation of people. Matter of fact, let's go to the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1.
Can I grab one precept, brother?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm going to grab this is the book of Deuteronomy 29, and I'm going to read verse 22 and 27. It says, so that the generation to come of your children that shall rise up after you, and the stranger that shall come from a far land shall say, when they see the plagues of that land and the sickness which the Lord have laid upon it. You know, those sickness and plagues the Lord put on us, those are curses, and those are demons, and those demons are curses. That's all it is, because the Lord, you know, instead of invoking good spirits, he invoked bad spirits on us because we begin to break his laws and commandments. Right. In verse 27, and the anger of the Lord was kindled against this land, talking about Israel, to bring upon it all the curses that are written in this book. So those demons, man, they are curses, you know, and that's what it is. Ultimately, all the plagues and sicknesses that we go through are curses, you know, like you was just reading about. And, you know, saying that's why it says in Romans chapter 7 and verse 14, for we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, so under sin. So that's all sin is them demons, man. But I just brought that out. King.
That's a good precept, King. Let's go to the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1. And somebody give me 1 Peter chapter 1 and 20. Baruch 3 and 10. Excuse me. On Baruch 4 and 1 and Baruch 3 and 10.
I got you. This is book Baruch chapter 4 and verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of God, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. Turn thee, O Jacob.
Brought that precept out just to show you that the law endure forever. So keep the commandments and you'll have life. Let's go to Baruch 3 and 10. Keep the commandments and live. That's what Proverbs 7 and 2 say. We want that righteous spirit on us. We got to keep the commandments. That's the constant message that we teach to our brothers and sisters. You know, it don't really get too much deeper than that. The whole message is keep the commandments and have faith in your house.
Hey, let me bring something out right fast, bro. Also, for the viewer, when it says keep the commandments and live, not only living in this current world, but it's talking about when the end comes and it's time to you're gonna have eternal life, or you're gonna get cast into damnation. As you keep the commandments, you can keep the commandments and still die on this earth. But when that time comes and judgment time comes, that's when it says keep the commandments and live, because you might die on this earth, but you're gonna live again by you keeping the commandments while you was on the earth.
Mm-hmm. Right? Good point, King. Let's go to Baruch, the book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 10. But this is what we don't want. This is what we should be striving to stay away from.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 3 and verse 10. How happy it Israel that thou art in thy enemy's land, that thou art waxing old in a strange country, that thou art defiled with the dead.
Defiled with the dead, among the dead. That's because we ain't been keeping the commandments. We used to have life. We used to live life. What we living right now, this ain't what you call life, man. Where we subject to payments, where we gotta get up every day to go slave for somebody else, to stay on the bottom of society. This ain't life. This ain't our resting place. You know what I'm saying? Right now, we defiled among the dead.
Robbed and spoiled.
You see that? Defiled among the dead. So if we ain't keeping the commandments, we dead. It's that simple. Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 25. 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 25. First Peter chapter 1, verse 25.
This book of 1 Peter chapter 1 and verse 25. But the word of the Lord endured forever, and this is the word which by the gospel is preached unto you.
Read that one more time.
This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 1 and verse 25. But the word of the Lord endured forever, And this is the word which by the gospel is preached unto you.
So the word endure forever. The question is, so if you want mortality, what are you willing to do? The word endure forever. So if you keep the word, you'll get immortality. You'll live forever. Like the brother was just saying. You keep the commandments after this death, but at that judgment, you get life, immortality. What do you want? You want let these damn demons keep you from living forever? For living a righteous life? For being in rulership? These different demons gonna keep you from being in rulership, ruling over these other nations. Is that what we want? A 5-10 minute thing of fun that'll end up getting us killed? Is that what we want? Let's go to the book of Jeremiah chapter 8 verse 3. These are the things we got to think about on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? But we go through our minds, be playing tricks on us. But we got to stay focused, lifting them weights, lifting them precepts, staying focused, keeping our palace guarded and in peace. Because them demons, them evil spirits going to try to take us in the opposite direction.
Let me get a quick precept.
To us as a nation.
Let me get a quick precept.
All right.
It's in the book of Judith, chapter 7 and verse 19. It says, then the children of Israel cried unto the Lord their God, because their heart faileth. And they're going into our mind, you know, because we may strategize and think we have a plan in this life, but the Lord said it's going to fail, you know, because if it doesn't line up to the will, and if it don't, you know, if it not line up with the Lord, you know, it's going to fail all the time. It says, then the children of Israel cried unto the Lord because their heart faileth. For all their enemies have compassed them round about. And that's what we got going on right now. Every nation is, you know, throwing their nose up. The Lord just said they took crafty counsel against us. That's why you see we going through the things that we go through. And our enemy, they prosper about that. The Lord said all our enemies have compassed them round about. And there was no way to escape out from among them. So the only way is through the Lord, you know. So that's the only way. We got to cry to the Lord. We got to seek forgiveness and ask him that, hey, redeem us, and, you know, seek forgiveness and, you know, ask for that salvation, you know.
Right. Oh. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 8, verse 3. And we're going to read that to 6.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 8 and verse 3. And death shall be chosen rather than life by all the residue of them that remain of this evil family, which remain in all the places whither I least have driven them, saith the Lord of hosts. Verse 4. Moreover, thou shalt say unto them, thus saith the Lord, shall they fall and not rise? And shall thy fall and not rise? Shall he turn away and not return? Verse 5. When then is this people of Jerusalem slidden back by a perpetual backslide? They hold fast the seat. They refuse to return.
You see that? 6. That's it.
Okay.
Nah, read verse 6, my bad.
Verse 6. I hearkened and heard, but they spake not aright. No man repented him of his wickedness, saying, what have I done? Everyone turned to his course as the horse rushes into the battle.
You see that? So it says, and death shall be chosen rather than life by all the residue of them that remain of this evil. Our people are going to say to hell with that, keeping them laws. I'm going to just continue on doing what I've been doing. Hey, you got to die of something one day. I'm going to die by this. That's simple. That's foolish as hell. That's stupid. You sitting there, the scriptures tell you what life is and what's killing you. You say to hell with that, you got to die by something anyway. You're cutting your life short. You could be living a luxury, I mean, not luxury, but a fulfilling life, doing something positive, uplifting your people, leading your family the right way. You said, I got to die. I'm going to die by this.
Hey, the Lord,
by eating swine every damn day.
Salakia, the Lord said they willingly ignorant of this.
Yeah.
They know the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Said death shall be chosen rather than life. They gonna choose to stay in some filth. Then when they get to limping, body starts shutting down on them. Why is this happening? Well, hey, the Lord said you can't eat these type of food. I don't want to hear that. Ignorantly. Continuing down the same path of destruction. It said, and remain of this evil family, which remain in all the places where I have driven them, saith the Lord of hosts. Moreover, thou shalt say unto them, thus saith the Lord, shall they fall and not arise? Shall he turn away and not return? The Lord still there. The word still there. Hey, all you got to do is turn back. I'll hear you. You say the hell with that. I'll get that Bible out of my face. I don't want to hear that. What it say, verse 5, when then is this people of Jerusalem slidden back by a perpetual backslide. Just like Esau got a perpetual hatred, we got a perpetual backslide. How backwards is that? Constantly going back.
Hey, brother, what which one of those verses said something about the residue? What you just brought up?
Verse 3, 8 and 3.
Okay, it said, and death shall be chosen rather than life by all the residue of them. And the residue is like for example, y'all know if you got if you got a substance in a bag and you pour that substance out, and then whatever left in the bag after you pour most of it out, that's the residue, you know. So basically that's the residue is the ones who gonna refuse to do what they need to do to get the kingdom. You know, that's what we call them the residue.
Right. Verse 5, it said, why then is this people of Jerusalem slidden back by a perpetual backslide? They hold fast deceit. They refuse to return. Hey, you know you ain't supposed to be celebrating Christmas. That's the downfall of our people. And they didn't combine about 4 or 5 different customs to make Christmas. I don't want to hear that. You just trying to ruin my life. Y'all boring. Y'all lame. You trying to rob the kids of their childhood. Perpetual backslide. They can't prove why they celebrate it, and they just caught up in that web of deceit. They see them commercials, they start hearing them damn jingle bells, like they ready to get it on. You know? They ready to follow behind it. It says, I hearkened and heard, but they spake not aright. No man repented him of his wickedness, and they ain't gonna turn from it. You know what I'm saying? Had a relative smoke every damn day. Had a tube down her mouth. Would not refuse to put that cigarette down. You can't even breathe. Refuse to put it down.
Hey,
Take them straight to the grave. Refuse. Well,
I was getting feed. Can y'all hear me pretty good?
Hey, we got an echo going on.
Yeah. What I was to say was I saw where a man he had a hole, you know how they had to cut the hole in your throat because you done got throat cancer or something. Mm-hmm. He had a hole in his throat, and instead of him putting the cigarette to his lips, he putting the cigarette right here and inhaling to get his cigarette.
Wow.
I thought about that when you said your relative had the tube and she still smoke. Yeah. And I guess that smoke thing, you're gonna have to get it one way or the other.
Exactly.
Man.
Spirit on.
If I may say,
but from the book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 13. Book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 13. Being in this truth, you understand and know that this is the things that we go through is nothing new. It's nothing to be proud of, but it's nothing new. You find out these things by reading the scriptures. You realize these are the things that plague our people. And the Bible speaking just about us. Go ahead. Book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 13.
Book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 13. As it is written in the law of Moses, all this evil is come upon us. Yet made we not our prayer before the Lord our God, that we might turn from our iniquities and understand thy truth.
Read 14.
Verse 14. Therefore have the Lord watched upon the evil and brought it upon us, for the Lord our God is righteous in all his works which he does, for we obeyed not his voice.
Constant thing. We keep disobeying. Hey, he keep putting that punishment on, keep putting that belt on us. It said, as it was written in the law of Moses, all this evil, not all this good, not all these blessings, all this evil has come upon us. Not everybody, but us. Yet made we not our prayer before the Lord our God, that we might turn from our iniquities and understand thy truth. Our people don't want to hear this truth, for the most part. And they damn sure don't think they in the wrong. You know, we ain't ever in every manner of wickedness that you can think of. And we don't want no type of correction. We don't want no rebuke. Whether we in the truth or out of the truth, we don't want no rebuke. It said, therefore the Lord had watched upon the evil and brought it upon us. The Lord said, man, looking at that, he called for it to happen. I keep telling them to keep my commandment. They don't want to listen. They want to do what they want to do. Hey, get out there and handle and do. Bring that vengeance on them.
Precept,
the Lord
bro.
sitting there watching it. For the Lord our God is righteous in all his works, which he doeth, for we obey not his voice. When we disobey his word, that's where them evil spirits or those demons come from. We got to understand that. We're going to give you an example right quick. Let's go to 1 Kings chapter 22, verse 19. 1 Kings chapter 22, verse 19. Everything that we go through in life has already been written about. Somebody already been through it. That's why it's called testimony. Show you that the things that you go through ain't new. Ain't nothing that we do new. We all done been there before. Same things keep happening. When are we going to learn though? 1 Kings chapter 22, verse 19. We're going to read that to 23.
In the book of 1 Kings, chapter 22, verse 19. And he said, hear thou, and he said, hear thou therefore the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne, and all the hosts of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left.
So right there you see that brother was having a vision where he's seen the Most High sitting on the throne, and he got all the hosts of heaven sitting on the left and the right. You got the righteous on the right hand, and you got the wicked sitting on the left. Go ahead.
Who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said on this manner, and another said on that manner. And there came forth a spirit and stood before the Lord and said, I will persuade you. And the Lord said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lion spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, thou shalt persuade him and prevail. Also, go forth and do so.
Verse 23.
Verse 23. Now therefore, behold, the Lord hath put a lying spirit in the mouth of all these thy prophets, and the Lord hath spoken evil concerning you.
You see that? So the Lord controls all things. And for Ahab being rebellious, being disobedient, the scripture was showing, portraying the scene where the Lord was putting that evil spirit out there to deceive him, to cause him to fall. And the spirit's jumping up like they in the damn classroom. Pick me, boss. Pick me. I'll get the job done. Pick me, boss. How you gonna get it done? Nah. How you gonna get it? Nah. How you gonna get it done? Yeah, that'll work right there. And he put him out there, a lying spirit. The Lord tell us not to bear false witness, basically not to lie. So this brother was breaking the commandment, so he got a wicked, unrighteous spirit to come into his world. Understand that. And the Lord did that. The Lord sent that. It ain't the Lord battling against Satan. Everybody works for the Most High. Everybody is controlled by the Most High, put it that way. Everybody. But
let me bring our precept on that right there. It's Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 6. And it says, for whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourge every son who receiveth. So it's saying who the Lord chastises who he loves. He wants us to get the kingdom of heaven. He see you not doing right. Like the brother said, he's gonna put that wicked stuff on you to try to make you rethink yourself and get your mind right, get on the right track, so that you can get the kingdom. He say he chastens who he loves. Mm-hmm. So he put them demons and spirits on you because he loves you. He's trying to get you right.
That's right. Same way we try to get our kids right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Constantly putting that belt on them, putting that punishment on them. Not because we hate them or we want to destroy them, but we want you to act accordingly to get with the program.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to get that chastisement. You're going to get them harsh words. You know? You're going to get that some extra chores or whatnot. We're trying to get you to follow the program to get in line. That's the same thing the Most High doing. Basically, so you get it little by little, according to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, verse 1. But let's go to the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 16, verse 13. 1 Samuel, chapter 16, verse 13. And it's going to be a little reading. It's going to be from 16 to 23. And this is basically going into King Saul. Talking about when he had an evil spirit on him. The Lord put an evil spirit on his brother for being disobedient. If you read 1 Samuel chapter 15, you'll understand that Saul was given a mission, given a job, a commandment to go and wipe out the Amalekites. You know, and he didn't complete the job. He was supposed to wipe out all of them. Animals, men, women, and children. He didn't do that. So the Most High stripped him of Most High stripped him of his rulership. And he put a spirit on him. But we're going to read of that account. 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 13.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 16 and verse 13. Then Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the midst of his brethren. And the Spirit of the Lord came upon David from that day forward. So Samuel rose up and went to Ramah. But the Spirit of the Lord departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from the Lord troubled him. And Saul's servant said to him, behold, now an evil spirit from God troubleth thee. Let our Lord now command his servants which are before thee to seek out a man who is who is a cunning player of in heart. And it shall come to pass when the evil spirit from God is upon thee, that he shall play with his hand, and thou shalt be well. And Saul said unto his servants, provide me now a man that can play well, and bring him to me. Then answered one of the servants and said, Behold, I have seen a son of Jesse, the Bethlehemite, that is cunning in playing, and a mighty valiant man, and a man of war, prudent in manners, a comely person, and the Lord is with him. Wherefore Saul sent messengers unto Jesse, and said, Send me David, thy son, which is with the sheep. And Jesse took an ass laden with bread, and a bottle of wine, and a kid, and sent them by David his son unto Saul. And David came to Saul and stood before him, and he loved him greatly. And he became his armor bearer. And Saul sent to Jesse, saying, Let David, I pray thee, stand before me, for he hath found favor in my sight. And it came to pass, when the evil spirit from God was upon Saul, that David took in heart and played with his hand. So Saul was refreshed and was well, and the evil spirit departed from him.
You see that? So Saul was, the Most High put an evil spirit on Saul, you know, for him being disobedient, rebellious, once again, just like King Ahab. But this spirit, when it was on him, even his partners, his first in command, they knew when he had evil spirits on him. So they was like, hey, man, we need to find somebody that can play a harp. Whenever he played, that spirit will leave from you. It's amazing how they even knew that, but that just goes to show you the level of understanding that our brothers and sisters had back in the ancient time, you know. But it said in verse 23, and it came to pass that when the evil spirit from God was upon Saul, that David took a harp and played with his hand. So Saul was refreshed and was well, and the evil spirit departed from him. It departed from him, but it ultimately came back because the brother had to keep playing the harp. And that's the point I'm trying to bring out to our brothers and sisters that's watching. These demons, these evil spirits, they only disappear for a season. Only for a season. All of us don't deal with the same problems, same spirits, but they keep coming back. And you got to continue to build yourself up so you can fight them. Have a palace of peace. And realize they do jump, but they do come back. I got about 3-4 more precepts and we'll be done. Let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 16. So nonetheless, these are accounts of how demons do exist, or wicked or evil spirits do exist. They are found throughout the Bible. When we're disobedient, rebellious to the Most High, He put them evil spirits on them or send them to jam us up. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 1, verse 16. We're going to read that to 20.
The book of Isaiah chapter 1, verse 16. Wash you, make you clean, put away the evil of your doings from before my eyes. Cease to do evil. Learn to do well. Seek judgment, relieve the oppressed, judge the fatherless, plead for the widow. Is it come now and let us reason together, said the Lord. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they be red with like crimson, they shall be as wool. If ye be willing and obedient, ye shall eat the good of the land. But if ye refuse and rebel, ye shall be devoured with the sword. For the mouth of the Lord hath spoken it.
You see that? Now, then we read earlier that spirits were created for vengeance. It was saying hail and famine and the sword created for vengeance. The Lord is saying right there in verse 20, but if you refuse to keep my commandments and rebel, ye shall be devoured with the sword. Now that demon could be Esau. It is Esau. You know what I'm saying? But you will be devoured with the sword, for the mouth of the Lord has spoken it. But I'm going to go back to verse 16. It says, wash you, make you clean, put away the evil of your doings from before mine eyes. Cease to do evil. So we got to put away evil. First off, when we trying to rid ourselves or build ourselves up, we got to put away evil, starting with the ways of this world. But then we got to put away the evil thoughts that we have in our minds, the things that we do on a daily basis. We got to put away evil. Let's go to the book of James, chapter 4, verse 7. Putting away evil. This is how we're going to defeat these demons. As we just read in 1 Kings or Samuel, sometimes music get rid of these demons. You know, you be in a depressed state of mind. You know, you angry. You put on that music, hey, that spirit gone. Think about that.
And if I may say, brother,
get rid of spirit. Go ahead, King.
Salakia, brother. You know, if I may say, too, you're right. Certain music does get rid of demons. When you listen to jazz, if you're in a state of confusion, you know, you're real complex in the day, when you put on jazz kind of correct that. You know, I find that to be one of the music that I listen to if I feel kind of out of place, if I feel like I'm trying to, you know, multitask, and I'm, you know, I got a lot of things going on, and I get confused, and that confusion, that's a demon. All of a sudden, you get confused, you get out the way. However, I put the jazz on, and I started to stay focused. And like you said, man, those type of music, that music, it displays a way where it can bring you back and get those demons off your mind. You know, so you want to be able to walk in the path of destroy. You know?
Right. So from there, I'm gonna read the book of James, chapter 4, verse 7. It says, you want to mute your mic, King?
Okay. The book of James, chapter 4. Submit your James chapter 4, verse 7. Submit yourselves therefore to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you.
So you gotta submit, then resist, and the devil will flee. Submit to the Most High, to these commandments, to the will of the Most High, to walk in His ways. You got to be in submission to those things, to these commandments. Then you got to resist evil, resist the devil, and he will flee. It's that simple. You got that lustful spirit. Hey, you got to flee from that. You got to resist that. You know, you feel like you can't do nothing about it. Hey, pick up the scripture, start reading. It'll be gone just like you turned on the music. You know, that spirit will be gone. He'll flee from you. Resist it. You feel like you got to fire up a cigarette or a black or something. Hey, hit some push-ups or something. That spirit will flee from you. You know, but you got to submit to the Most High. But from there, let's go to the book of Mark, chapter 9, verse 28. But you got to put away evil. Put away these demons. Mark, chapter 9, verse 28 and 29.
The book of Mark, chapter 9, verse 28. It said, but when he was come to the house, his disciples asked him privately, why could not we cast him out? And he said unto them, this kind can come.
Your mic went on mute.
Oh. Can you hear me, King?
Yeah.
Okay. Mark chapter 9, verse 28. And when he was coming to the house, his disciples asked him privately, why could not we cast him out? And he said unto them, this kind can come forth by nothing but by prayer and fasting.
So not only can we get rid of these demons by playing music, by hearkening to the scriptures, also not only by just resisting, but by prayer and by fasting. Prayer and fasting. Got to keep that in mind. Some spirits will only leave when you fast. Think about that. Keep that in mind. So from there, let's go to the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 36. That'll be the last one. Luke, chapter 21, verse 36. Book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 36.
It's like you, brother. Can I get one to Luke? Can I get one last one before you do Luke?
Go ahead.
Okay. This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 6. Go back to Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 12. And it says, not 12. Excuse me. Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 11. It says, put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. So, while we're going through these circumstances and having these attacks by these demonic spirits, we got to put on the whole armor of the Lord, so we can withstand the wiles of the devil, because all this temptation, all these things out here are demons, So we got to put on the whole armor of the Lord, and that's putting on all the commandments, so we can stand up against the wiles of the devil. So he said,
right. So let's go to the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 36. This will be the last one.
The book of Luke, chapter 21 and verse 36. Watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to see all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man.
So it's saying, watch ye therefore and pray always. You got to be watching. You might hit your mic. Yeah, it say, verse 36, watch ye therefore and pray always. You got to be watching. Mainly watching yourselves on a daily basis. Got to watch what type of spirit you're moving in. What kind of spirit is on you? Is it a righteous spirit or a wicked spirit? You got to be watching. That's why he said, watch ye therefore and pray always. You got to be praying day in and day out for the Most High, for Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, to remove any type of wicked spirit, any type of wicked thoughts from your mind. Any type thoughts that will lead you down the road to a reprobate mind. You got to ask him to remove those things. What did he say? Clear mind. A clean heart. That's what it meant. That's what I meant to say. Give me a clean heart. Watching, therefore, praying always that you may be counted worthy to escape all the things that shall come to pass, things that's going to come your way. You want to escape wrath? Hey, when you being disobedient, you already know that those spirits of vengeance are out, ready, willing to appease the wrath of him that created them. So we got to keep that in our mind at all times. We need to be watching ourselves, seeing, are we walking in a righteous spirit? Are we walking the righteous path? Because them spirits is out there, right there on the side, wherever we at, ready to appease him. It don't matter if it's a damn brick off the side of your house. Spirits is waiting. The damn bird drop out the sky, kill you, whatever. The bird crap on your window, on your windshield, blind you where you can't see, you run off the road. Something that simple. But they ready at any given time. So we got to be watching and being mindful of the spirit that we walking in on a daily basis. So we can be counted worthy to escape the things that pass, and also to be able to stand before the Son of Man. So with that, close out. And I hope you brothers and sisters were edified. You learned something tonight. But I'm your brother Ananias.
Brother Yakub.
Yeah, brother Ezekiel and brother Baruch on tonight. We got to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Thanking you, brother, for tuning in again. You could have been doing anything, but you're here with us. So all praises for that. Happy Sabbath to you all. Hopefully you took good notes. And we're going to say shalom to you.
Shalom.